out of the castle!
Wait a minute. Didn't we just save the princess?
That was a fake princess! That was Daisy!
Fuck! No wonder.
Why'd you go blonde, though?
If it was Daisy, shouldn't she have just murdered Bowser on her way out?
Like, for real! I mean, she wouldn't let herself fall to that, probably. Just a guess. No, I would know.
Then again, does anyone know what Daisy does in her spare time?
Go-karting, partying, golfing, soccer, same as everybody else. God damn it! What the hell's going on with their own kingdom? Who the fuck knows?
For all we know, that probably just Star Land probably has just as much proof of existence as the Waffle Kingdom.
Then again, Wario tried to fucking take it over or some shit, or no, he had Mario distracted, but make him go to Sarasa Land so he could take Mario's castle, which now Mario doesn't have, which is weird. Either that or he just has it. It's like vacation
Wario,
mode.
you mean?
Wario took Mario's castle, which I think that's how the plot was for Super Mario Land 2. Basically, they said like the plot of Mario Land 1 was more a distraction to get Mario out of his castle so Wario could take it over. And the link to that is Tatanga, who shows up as a boss at the end of the space world in Mario Land 2.
Oh crap.
As well as the final boss of Mario Land 1.
I don't care that much. Because I was thinking like, wait, I could get that infinite life or whatever, but eh. Not like it's gonna really mean much of anything if I can't finish the stage.
If it was regular Mario 1, that would definitely be fine, but with Lost Levels to Super Nintendo, it's not that big a deal.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die a lot.
Lives don't mean anything. I don't think I remember World B being that hard, actually. It's World C and D that are really bad. I guess we'll find out the hard way just how bad it could be. But yeah, Brothership, I am definitely looking forward to it. It looks like they're kind of going back to basics with it. They like revamped the way it looks like basic action commands work. Yeah. Graphical style looks very similar to how it did for, you know, the 3DS entries, just now 3D. That's another reason why I don't think it'd be next level games. Why would they go to the graphical style that's so strikingly similar to frickin' the originals? It feels so Japanese, it would feel wrong for it to be next level games.
Yeah.
Man, I did like, just looking at the trailer, watching the expressiveness of them, I was like, oh, I missed
Like the
this.
emotion that they had in the trailer was so nice to see.
Yeah. Like, oh god, the Mario and Luigi games do give like all their characters a lot of personality. Also, the big thing, original characters are back.
Yes.
No more just Mario characters. I think they've realized. People like to say it's Origami King that started the trend because of the final boss, where the villain basically complains about the world being nothing but toads. Fans like to speculate like that was like the developers kind of getting some of their aggression out. Basically saying like, this is the restrictions they put on us. Don't blame us for what Nintendo told us to do.
I mean, I've also heard that it was also...
I wouldn't blame me. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Miyamoto though.
Some people say that it wasn't like because Miyamoto also said like he didn't like how like the recent Paper Mario games did turn out, but it's like they did seem to be strangle hell.
Super Paper Mario, to be fair.
Super Paper Mario is a very divisive game, though. Like, of all the games in the series, that game's probably the most divisive in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
Origami King's in there now too.
Yeah, but Origami King, I can definitely see more arguments against it than for.
I've seen people posting comments that I hope are fucking bait, or people saying they couldn't play Thousand Year Door because it was fucking, it sucked, but they like Sticker Star more. I was like, oh, okay.
Are you sure that wasn't Coda by any chance? Because I know Coda says that a lot.
Chapter 2 in Thousand Year Door is a big sore spot for him, which, to be fair, is the game's worst chapter. It is the game's worst chapter.
Well, then you haven't met me. Then you remember what? And then there's me.
Just wait for the remake, my friend. Just wait till we get there eventually.
Oh, fucking elevator.
Yep. Just wait till we get to the remake. Oh yeah, which I may as well say, I got to play through Thousand Year Door's remake. I will just give my opinion. I think it's better than the original. A little bit. There are a couple detriments, but nothing like crazy. Have them come from nostalgia bias, to be fair.
I will say there's one thing that I know that I'm gonna put as a pencil and as a stickling point. I know some people might say, I know you might say it might also be nitpick as well, but you have to understand where I come from as well.
Yes.
The FPS thing.
Yeah.
It is sturdy FPS.
It's jarring if you play the original, especially if you played it to death like I have. It's jarring at first. I got used to it though after a while.
Yeah.
And
I
hey,
mean, if
it's
you're
not like it affected the game the fact that it was slower. If anything, I think it made it easier. So was it like the action commands had like a certain frame window with like timing them. The frame window did not change, but the frame rate did. Meaning, you have twice as much time for all the action commands to work.
Oh.
Except for one instance. Power bounce got nerfed tremendously.
That doesn't surprise me.
Almost glitchingly. There's another one of the faults I can mention. Looks like the power bounce attacks got nerfed almost accidentally. It's like you have a frame window that lowers with every single bounce. For some reason, the fourth jump is frame perfect. And then the next few jumps after that are back to being like slightly smaller windows from the first few. But it's like 7 frames, 6 frames, 5 frames, 1 frame, 4 frames, 3 frames, 2 frames, and then 1 frame indefinitely. For some reason, the fourth jump is like messed up.
That's probably a glitch then. If that
Probably.
Was the case. There's no way that they probably maybe put a patch out for that.
Yeah, eventually. Oh, there's also the rumor that apparently the game might have been done almost a year ago.
I mean, oversights can happen.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here and say that.
like that is something I've taken away recently of Nintendo. It's like it's weird that they are like one of the only developers that just have games done and they just have sit on the back burner to just, you know, when there's a lull where their really big games aren't coming out, it's like, well, we have this project done, may as well throw this out here. Why not?
It sounds weird when they say it like that.
It makes it so they don't have, you know, gaps in regard to first-party releases.
Yeah.
It's something they learned from the Wii U era, where frickin' the first-party games were, you know, barren.
Yeah.
You would get like 2 or 3 a year. They were very, you know,
Hit or miss, it seems.
yup. For a Switch, they decide just have games done, and that's, you know, they release them earlier. That's kind of what happens to like Chronicles 3 releasing a few months early. And they pushed Splatoon 3 like a month or 2 back. I guess Xenoblade 3 was finished, but they wanted to release it because they thought Splatoon 3 would have been done sooner. But they wanted to patch up Splatoon 3 more, so gave it a couple months. Like, all right, Xenoblade 3, go ahead, you're done, go out. It's like, oh, all right.
Anyways, that is phase 1. That is, and that's always all this talk is just scratching the surface of the June Direct because there's a lot to take in.
Yep. I'll say, I arguably thought the Mario and Luigi Brothership thing was the biggest one for me. It's like, oh, the series got revived. Oh.
I mean, that was a hell of a start for
Fucking
that.
Mario RPG Renaissance be damned, dude. Like, think of it. In less than a span of a year, we've had 3 Mario RPGs.
2 of them are remakes, to be fair.
Yes, and one is a new game of a series people thought was dead, which is arguably the most exciting of them.
Yep, for me especially, because everyone know. I think I probably penciled this out. Actually, I don't think I penciled it out that much, to be fair, because all I've done is Superstar Saga. But I am a bigger fan of the Mario and Luigi series versus the Paper Mario series.
I've been seeing a lot of people talking about how great Dream Team was again lately, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'm just, in my brain, I'm just feeling a little bit validated. I'm like, okay, good, so I'm not the only person here who thinks that the game
It is weird, though. Dream Team's the most divisive game in the Mario and Luigi series.
I understand why, to be fair.
I get it. I mean, I hate the people that like Partners in Time more than that, but...
I understand why some people would like Partners in Time more.
Oh!
But at the same time, Partners in Time just feels like...
It's really...
It's very barren.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And I know someone might argue
It's fine,
the story and
but yeah,
characters
just
are important.
compared to how much deeper the later games got,
and how much,
ugh.
like even compared to the first game, it felt like there was more going on.
Yeah, the first game had a lot going on. The second one just had a good gameplay idea, but just it felt like they were just trying to get the game out early in the DS's life cycle.
It just felt like the story was the main focus, and then they forgot everything else. It's like there's no real world building in a way.
No reason.
It's just the main story.
No reason to backtrack. There's like one or 2 mini games, the whole thing. The touchscreen was used for 1 instant in the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of weird things in Partners in Time, but yeah, nice to see all the friggin'
everything being also the brothers' items being an absolutely busted mechanic.
Yeah, that game definitely. Then again, you know, that's why Bowser's Side Story went back to basics, refined some of what Partners in Time did, and then threw Bowser in for good measure. And oh, was it good.
Yep.
Like, but Jesus. Go over Bars of Time Bowser's Inside Story. What a fucking leap.
That was a leap. And
Like,
maybe that was also
Jesus.
that was another big thing that a lot of people had against Dream Team was it wasn't much of a leap, but I mean Bowser's Inside Story kind of perfected the formula in a way.
It was more like incremental improvements,
Yeah.
which, you know, to be fair, some of them were pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just, the game I felt like was dragged out a little bit.
I think
But
it was
still pretty good.
I'm not gonna sit here and argue too much because as on the replay I do feel a lot of the
Especially when you're...
when you're grabbing the bed part specifically.
That's where it
where
drags the
really
most.
Drags the hardest.
At least they have a boss at the end of that, but still, it takes a good while to get through that.
Yeah.
It's basically a backtrack quest.
Also, the giant. I heard the giant battles were a point of contention for a lot of people.
Probably the last two more than anything.
The another big thing as well, which I will honestly agree with as well, the giant cup or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the stream of having to go through all of them in a row.
The way the giant cup is handled is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Because, hey, you need to do this perfectly. You fuck up once, you're basically screwed.
The turn limit is not that bad. It's the health carrying over in between every fight. It is brutal. Like, man. Especially when you get to the last
And that's
fights.
exactly why the turn limit sucks, actually.
I mean...
Because you can heal yourself, but the problem is, if you heal yourself,
yeah,
you basically waste a turn.
I mean, I can put it this way, like, doing the solo fights, I would end up with, like, 1 or 2 turns left over. Getting to the end of the giant gauntlet, I had, like, 8 left over. Like, you have wiggle room. That's, you know, assuming, of course, you mastered at least the first, like, 2 or 3 fights.
Yeah, because there are some fights that just suck.
I'll admit, the way they did bring giant battle rematches in the Inside Story remake. I don't like the way that was handled.
I think that's also what I heard as well.
They basically sped it up. So, a lot of action commands were a lot harder to do because everything was faster. It made it harder, but not in a good way. Especially when you do, like, rotating or tapping the screen repeatedly.
Yeah.
Ugh. It made the fucking rematch of the fucking train
The
horrible.
train, like, that just sounds like the train rematch would just suck.
It did. I barely got through it, I think. I think it took me a couple tries to beat it. And the match against that giant robot in the water, that also sucked, too. Because it would speed up getting out of the water so you couldn't do damage very quickly. That was also a pain in the ass. Anyway, I think most people don't like the train fight in Bowser's Inside Story. It's like
Yeah,
the low point of that game.
everybody kind of... Like, the train fight's always been...
It's an interesting gimmick, but yeah, it was definitely the weakest of the big battles in that game.
That's the one where you gotta, like, breathe the fire and all
Yeah.
that.
My least favorite fight in friggin' Dream Team was probably the Z-Keeper. Just
The
for the fact it was
Z-Keeper
brutal.
sucked.
That fight was brutal.
Yeah, the Z-Keeper fight's rough.
Like, better
I
than
always hated
it was
that
better
fight.
than the train fight in Bowser's Inside Story, but oh,
It definitely is the weakest fight in the game. I'm
the
not
fact
gonna
you
sit
have to
here
go
and
through
deny
a fucking barrage of countering him to be able to actually do damage to him eventually is like,
Because it's...
Jesus, it's relentless.
In one
Fun,
way it's
though.
challenging, but goddamn... Because it's just because it takes so long to get a good opportunity to fight.
Yep.
Damn.
And the rematch made it even worse.
Yeah, like, I've...
Oh.
Like, there's a reason why I haven't done the marathon one, because...
You don't get anything out of it, you just get money out of it anyway.
Yeah.
At least the regular matches, you get your super boss fight.
Imagine if there was... I do kind of wish that...
If there was a super boss there, that would have been fucked up and it would have made it worthwhile.
Super Bowser.
It carried all of your health over. Oh, I kind of thought there might have been like an extra phase to the Bowser fight. Which I'm glad there wasn't.
That would be some shit if there was.
Oh, God. Oh, that started to kill me. You gotta do that again. Oh, God, come on! 3 times for you, fucker? Really?
The dry Bowser fight. God damn it!
Oh, shit. I was about to say a spoiler for Paper Chip.
Ah.
I think I might have just spoiled it already.
I think I have a feeling I know exactly where it's going.
The gauntlet.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair,
I do think the thing
part of me
with
wants to go back to Paper Jam, but I'm also just because...
yeah, that was hard to really get through. Like, there are definitely some good moments, but
There are things I like about it, but there are also things where it feels like something's missing.
A lot of the paper enemies feel weird in that game.
Yeah. They feel sort of shoehorned in.
Yeah, and then all the Koopalings just show up as intermittent fights. Some of the later fights get pretty good, though. Like, some of the later bosses are actually really good. Like, I think you have one with, like, all the Koopalings. That fight is one of the best of the series. That's a really good one. But that's, like, right before the final boss. And then there's, I think one of the bosses is Big Bomb. I was gonna say, I don't know if they had another fight that had a mechanic like that. Oh, wait! They kind of do. Remember the one boss in Dream Team that once it's nearly dead puts a timer on you?
I think so.
How do you like that for the whole fight with Big Bomb?
Oh, so basically the Super Saga thing near the end of the game or whatever?
You have a time limit on that fight. If you don't kill him in 3 minutes, you die.
Oh, so basically what they did for Superstar Saga, instead of a turn limit, it's a time limit.
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
time limit?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, time limit, not turn limit. I was saying, like the, like, you know, that Guardian of the Pilo Temple or whatever, once it's nearly dead, it basically goes to self-destruct mode.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Cause I feel like I know what you're talking about, but it's just like, it has been a while since I played Dream Team.
It sucks when it's like, okay, I'm gonna use a brother's move. The time just dwindles down. It's like, if this doesn't kill him, I'm dead. I don't think he attacks during that time, though. So you can just barrage a bunch of regular attacks and then go to the brother's move to end it. Although, if you're smart, you'll damage him so bad before the timer even gets to that point, he'll just die without entering that phase.
That was just me, like, also secretly hoping when I'm thinking about the Mario and Luigi game, I hope they bring back the Underhand.
Oh,
I would love this. I would love it.
Would be interesting if they brought that back. It's curious. It looks like it'll be a new direction. I'm curious to see how it'll go.
And hey, it's a Mario and Luigi game on a console.
Yup, the first one is actually on a console. If you don't count, you know, being able to play it on Switch or Wii U for the first game. And technically the second game for Wii U's case. And they never brought Inside Story. Then again, bringing Bowser's Inside Story to Wii U.
That would be hard.
That would be a lot harder.
You have to take into account the
there's a lot of dual stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of dual screen like interface stuff going on. Part of the time is a lot simpler. You only need the touchscreen for one thing.
Yeah.
Where Bowser's Inside Story, there's a lot of like screen.
There's a lot of touchscreen stuff, specifically with Bowser.
Yep.
Since he's basically the one that revolves around the touchscreen stuff.
That gave me great use of managing both the screens.
Yeah. And that's why it sucks to have to trying to transfer it over to a console.
Yep.
Because it worked too well.
Yeah.
With the
I'll say, other than the Gauntlet thing, I did think the Inside Story remake was still pretty good. I don't think I like it as much as the original, but it was still good. In fact, it's still probably. I think I'd play Dream Team over the Inside Story remake. But regular Inside Story is still my favorite. Like, oh, just Bowser being the starring role. It's just something that's needed more. It really is.
Yeah.
The fact they had two different, like, battle styles for them, they both worked very well. And the fact they interconnected with each other, like, dude.
To make it work as well as it did would
The
be...
battle system was fantastic for that game. Where Dream Team just had two different battle systems, both which worked very well as well. Just the fact they're interconnected in Bowser's Inside Story. Like, I kept forgetting about that. It's so good. That's why it's my second favorite Mario RPG. Just behind Thousand Year Door. Yeah, Thousand Year Door did have some improvements in the remake, though. Some of which you will be very thankful for.
I am familiar with one particular, update.
Which chapter is it?
It's not about chapters, it's about a particular
The partner ring?
No, I'll give you a hint. World pipes. Or level
Oh
pipes
yes,
or
the
whatever.
warp zone, yes.
Warp pipes.
Yeah, they basically made the warp pipes be a lot more accessible for getting to where all the chapters were. It is nice. It is very nice.
That's one of the big things I saw. I'm like, wow, that's a very.
It makes a certain side quest they cut with the game easier.
Yep.
But they didn't change that. They left that in its purest form.
I mean, is it really as pure as it was before?
Well, it looked like his secretary. I don't know where he went. He looked very tired though. God damn it! I gotta go let him know I couldn't find him. Hey, who the fuck is that? Oh yeah, there was one thing I didn't. I would say I didn't like, but it's more of a thing you could avoid. They had like a hint system that made things a lot easier for you to figure out.
I mean, you have to expect that with modern games, I guess.
It's completely ignorable though if you don't hit the button. So, you know, I kind of hate it. I was like, you know, it's ignorable. So, you know what, I don't really care. I'm only upset because I played the game to death, so I know how to do everything. They did change a few puzzles though. A few of them.
I mean, it's not like an X5 case where a game forces you to a halt to tell you what to do, right?
I think they do have one Force tutorial on you now. But considering the mechanic it's about, which is still one of the mechanics in the game that's unchanged, it makes sense why they forced it on you. Instead of keeping it in another tutorial. Yeah, they actually cut off part of one tutorial to make it mandatory later. I mean, again, I get why they did it. Because it's a weird mechanic with 1,000-year door.
Like, some people will whine and complain about that, but it's like, hey, guess what? Not every single person is someone who spent the entire time playing the game like you did, sort of.
I mean, when I do LPs, I freaking go through the tutorials anyway, so freaking, it doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
It's just one of those on replays, it's just a little bump in the road. It's not like it takes an eternity, too. It's like they discuss it, and it takes like 30 seconds. Although, the UI being slow, I will admit, is definitely part of a detriment. Because the UI is definitely slower. That's not a frame rate thing, that's just the engine. Like, yeah, you can tell, like, certain things in the battle sequences need to load, and you're, like, sitting there for a few seconds. It's like, alright, man, really? Yeah, that's a tough running jump. You basically gotta run all the way to the back end, do a full jump across. Yeah, I just hope Mario and Luigi Brothership is good. I imagine it would be. The way they simplified a lot of the games,
the way that the game looks so far, it seems like it's, there's veterans working on the game, and they set up shop somewhere.
The art style and the logo of the game, too, definitely. Yep, the art style definitely makes me think it's a lot of the same people. So, yeah. I'm definitely liking what I saw, that's for sure. The new Zelda game, I'll need time to let settle in.
Yeah, I specifically want to see the dungeons, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to see the general flow of the game as well, because it being more puzzle-oriented is kind of,
yeah, it's gonna be curious.
It's a different direction that I need to. I feel like I need time to
we need to see more, really, like, understand how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
I mean, well, there's a new Mario Party, there's that too. Yeah. Which basically Super Mario Party Plus, and they added a little bit of frickin' Mario Party Superstars in there too. They added 5 new boards and 2 old boards, and a shitload of minigames. They finally went for the thing people are complaining about. There's not a lot of content in there. Alright, fine. The most boards we've had since 5 and the most minigames in any Mario Party.
I mean, there's not really a whole lot for me to say because I've never really been big on the
I mean, yeah, I know. So. Just as a Mario
That sounds
Party
like this is like
nice.
This is your party.
Yeah. Yeah. It basically is like it's Super Mario Party plus more, basically. So, you know, it's there if you look care for it. Prime 4, I just need to wait for more to come. Give that game time to cook up and see how much bigger it becomes.
I mean, it seems like the game's finished and they're just dicking with us right now, from what I've seen so far, but there's more needs to be done.
I don't think that game's done yet. It's definitely...
But then again, 2020...
They got the opening sequence done. It looks like it probably needs some more polish as well.
Yeah.
I know some people keep complaining about the textures. It's like, I mean, it's a Switch. What do you expect? The fact it still looks as good as it does and runs at 60 frames per second? Like, man. Retro's really down to make use of that hardware. Just like they did with Prime Remastered. Believe me, I can tell they know what they're doing. Nice! Woohoo! Alright, we're halfway through the special worlds, not counting 9. Guy! It's hard to breathe in there! How do we all go drown in that stupid boat? Fuck you!